Hey guys, I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and today I'm joined by Jason.
Oh yeah, this is Indie Bookosaurus,
yeah.
also known as Jason Keene, also known as Big J, also known as Dr. Keene. I have so many nicknames. I've never been called Doctor. I don't know.
I call him Little Guy.
Oh
But
yeah,
no-
is that what you call me? You call me a little guy?
This is our weekly discussion show where we talk about the latest movies that we saw. Now, I am not a professional movie reviewer by any means, but Jason has been doing it for a very long time.
Well, you actually get paid.
What? To go see a movie?
No, you're getting paid to like do stuff.
But I'm not. Yeah, but it doesn't mean I know what I'm doing.
So just so you know, Benny is a professional and he doesn't know what he's
I'm
doing.
a professional YouTuber, and I don't know what I'm doing. I've
Yeah.
said it right here.
Yeah.
All right, so today we both went to go see The Man from U.N.C.L.E, which is based upon a 1960s television show. I did look that up. Did you know that?
That's about. I know it's based on a show, but that's about as far as my knowledge goes.
That's about as far
I
as
went-
mine goes, too.
So you're getting a review about a movie that we don't know anything about the IP, which
Nope.
is that's a rarity coming from me.
Yeah, well,
'Cause
and normally I
and
know
probably
plenty
Benny.
about it, but as soon as I looked it up and it said that it came out in 1969, I was like, nope, too old.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like Mission Impossible. Like I've been
Yeah.
watching Mission Impossible movies since 1996, but I've never seen the show. I mean, I've seen some shows, but yeah, we are.
What was that show? What was that show about the spy guy with the shoe that he would talk in the shoe?
That is a different one entirely. That's the
I watched that as a
that's
kid.
Get Smart, maybe?
That was an awesome show.
Or is that Inspector Gadget?
It probably is both. I might be merging
Inspector
them.
Gadget. If they made an Inspector Gadget like a good movie, not the Matthew Broderick
The
one,
first
but like,
Matthew Broderick was okay.
yeah, it was probably fine.
We're a little off topic right now.
Probably, yeah.
By the way, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. All right, so initial reactions. I loved it. I thought it was great. I had a few moments that made me kind of go, but I actually really enjoyed the movie. And it was actually interesting to see Henry Cavill, in my opinion, playing that role instead of the Superman role, because that's the only thing I've ever seen him in other than this.
Well, it's the first thing he's kind of done since the Superman movie.
I thought well, since it, right.
He's
Yeah.
probably done other stuff. I just don't remember.
The only problem I had with Henry Cavill in the role was he just...
Is it Henry Cavill or Henry Cavill?
Oh, that one. Yeah, it's Henry Cavill. The only problem I have with it is he looked like a walking door. Like, the whole time it looked to me like they were trying to put him in suits and clothing to hide the bulk that he has from being Superman.
Yeah.
And definitely wasn't working.
Well, I mean, he's a super spy agent. Like, I thought it was great. I thought he cut a very handsome, figure, and he's just like, man, I'm just totally awesome at this job. And just the way he played his character was hysterical.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So I guess to start off, when we talk about movie reviews, Benny, like, what do you like to see in movies? Like, what do you look for? Like, what are you?
I like to see a movie that engages me, and for all three acts, I love it, and it doesn't go too long, because that's the problem I have with movies. Sometimes it's like, this movie is incredible, if it had ended 20 minutes ago.
But are you the kind of guy that's like mostly interested in you just looking for entertainment, something to pass your
I like
2
to, I
hours
call,
of-
I
'cause,
call
I mean,
movies popcorn fodder.
Right.
Like, I didn't see Interstellar till it came out on Blu-ray, because that's not popcorn fodder. That makes me think.
That's like an artistic, like thoughty movie
Right,
for you.
and I want to be able to think
Yeah.
about it. When I go to a movie, normally when I go see a movie, in the back of my head, I'm like, all right, I got to write this script for this video. I got to read this comic when I get home. I got to do this.
Yeah,
So
'cause-
when I go
'cause-
see a movie, I'm looking for something that I just grab a bag of popcorn, and in my head, I can do whatever I got to think about, but I'm still able to pay attention to the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to kind of just. I mean, I know that we're going to talk about this movie, but I just wanted to get out there. Like, everybody that goes into a movie has a different reason to watch a movie.
Yeah.
Like, some people just want it for entertainment. See, I don't find movies entertaining. It's an art form to me. So to me, it's millions of people, or not millions of people. It's thousands of people coming together to make this product, and they're trying to present something that's a little artistic and also says something about our culture that we live in. So to me, it's important. That's why if a movie's bad, I get angry. Like,
Well,
I
and
actually
that's
get
why
offended.
we're here, because I'm the guy,
So-
I'm your general public who just wants to go see a movie and have a
Right.
good night out, and you're the one that wants to analyze the movie. And that's why we're
Exactly.
sitting here. That's why we're
Yeah.
bringing you weekly movie reviews when we're capable of
No
doing it.
matter what movie it is.
No
or
matter
if
what
it-
movie.
So now that I just wanted to get that out of the way. Let's talk about The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Let's talk about these actors, the writers. So there's this movie. This is directed by the guy who did the Sherlock Holmes movies, Guy Ritchie.
Which
and,
I love the Sherlock Holmes movies, so.
Yeah, I mean they're entertaining. They're stylistically fresh. Obviously, Robert Downey Jr. You can watch him do anything right now. He's on another level of entertainment. Like,
Oh, yeah. He'd
He
be a
hasn't
great
really made a
YouTuber.
bad movie since he started doing the Iron Man things. Don't quote me on that, but I've enjoyed most of
There's
his
probably
movies.
some indie project we don't know about that he bombed
I
hardly.
feel like there's a movie where he like met Jamie Foxx and he was in the street and he was like poor and a musician and didn't know what was going on, and then he like,
yeah,
put him
I don't think that
over
movie
and-
did well. It's like Scarlett Johansson was in a movie about her skin crawling off her.
She's done a lot of movies. They're all awesome. ScarJo. Anyways, so The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is based on this old British TV show. Guy Ritchie's British.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the show's British. I'm not sure if it is, but Guy Ritchie, he's very stylistic. He's into quick cuts, alternate like editing like your panels and different things all at the same time.
I did like that, how the panels would slide into each other and it looked almost like you're watching a comic book.
And the note that I always make about him is he's not very original. Like, he takes a lot of his ideas and kind of apes them into his movies. And I know you kind of rolled your eyes when you heard that, but it's true. Like, he's not a cutting edge, innovating type of guy. He's just trying to make something that's good and entertaining and fun. So did that movie deliver on that part? And you, Benny, said yes.
It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I loved the camera work on it. I loved the characters. I loved the way they interacted with each other. I loved they put in just enough humor that I was engaged in what the jokes they were telling, what was happening. One of my favorite scenes was probably with, for the record, we will be discussing some spoilers. Probably shouldn't discuss the ending, but I did enjoy the scene where Henry Cavill, or it's Cavill, right? I got it right there.
I think it's Cavill. But
Cavill.
I don't know.
Whatever it is, he was sitting in a truck eating a sandwich while his buddy's fighting in the boat.
Yeah,
I thought that was
no,
great.
It's hysterical.
Yeah, and I loved how they showed the dynamic of they need to learn how to work together within their first mission, where it's like one guy can't do something, the other guy can. Oh, now he can't. Now he can't.
Yeah. So, before we get into just talking about the movie briefly, I did enjoy the movie. It's a movie that I saw that I'm like, wow, I actually kind of want to see these characters more.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to have that going into it, but it's like, man, I kind of want to see a sequel to this so I can develop this team. Will the movie do well enough to make that happen? I don't know. It didn't have a good first weekend, but, we can always hold out hope. I think the chemistry between the characters was all great, especially the two main characters. So what is this movie about? What am I talking about here? So The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is a story about, it's during the Cold War, and it's a spy espionage film. And what we have is we have two very different people put together on the same team. And very early in the movie, they are fighting each other. They're opposed, and then they get reluctantly put together on the same team. So that's a concept.
Yeah,
and
that happens once in a while.
Yeah, people have to.
I think the Avengers did that.
Yeah. So, but these two are diametrically opposed, and they do not like each other.
It's literally we have the guy from America. He's working for the CIA,
which is Henry Cavill.
Right. He's working for them, but he's a thief that they caught, and he's forcing into it.
He's like the closest I could say they made Archer.
Yeah, Basically, he seems to be modeled after Archer. And then we have the KGB agent, who's the Russian guy on the other side. And then we have our third character. She's working for the British.
And she doesn't really do much.
Yeah,
because
half the movie they're protecting her. Yeah.
No, so that's the part of the movie that I was like, if she's supposed to be on this team or be a part of this team or be the foil to these two, they did a bad job of that, and it's very disappointing. But that's bad writing. Most of the movie is focused on our Russian agent, who is Arnie Hammer, and of course we have Henry Cavill. I can't remember their names because that's not my job. So, or I could take notes. Of
Superman and whatever Arnie Hammer was in.
The Lone Ranger.
Okay.
Superman,
he's the Lone Ranger.
He's also the Green
Superman
Hornet.
and the Lone Ranger.
He's the Green Hornet and the Lone Ranger, and now he's this Russian super spy. He's actually been like these really kind of cheesy pulp comic book type characters, which is kind of cool.
Okay, so wait, before we move forward, I just want to throw a concept of a movie at you. Superman meets up with the Lone Ranger and teams up with a lady from MI6.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a thing. Dynamite, we're throwing this your way. So we have America and the USSR, they're teaming up, and the Nazis are back. There's a plot to get a nuclear weapon, and it's led by a femme fatale, and she just wants to destroy the world because she's a crazy Nazi.
Oh yeah, she's totally. They even specify that everyone that's had this money and the Nazi power, they didn't care. This guy's a playboy, and this guy doesn't care about this. But she wants to be nuts. She's gonna do it.
Yeah, and whatever. They don't really explain her motives. They don't need to. She's a femme fatale. She's just injected into the story for fun.
Yeah, it's just a villain.
Literally, the strength of this movie is the interplay between the two characters, which is played by Arnie Hammer and Henry Cavill.
Superman and Lone Ranger.
They hate each other.
Which is what's great about it.
And they'll just completely undermine each other at any moment. And it's kind of fun. At first I thought it was really redundant. I was like, okay, this is kind of, they're hitting the nail on, hammer meet nail.
Yeah.
There we are. Or nail, hammer. I'm really bad at these analogies.
No, you got it. Hammer meet nail. Hammer meet nail. Hammer meet nail.
So
thump, thump, thump.
Yeah, that's right. They're just hitting me over the head with it. And I felt like it was a little redundant, but that might have been a weak script, but maybe that was the point. Maybe that was the whole point.
Well, and I actually think it was the point, because the movie opens up with them being literally at odds. They are fighting against each other.
Yeah.
And then right off the bat, it's like, okay, so they were trying to kill each other, and now they have to work together. If you tried to kill me and then we were forced to do this video, the whole thing would be me trying to beat on you.
Yeah, we would just be undermining each other's intelligence, and where we went to college or didn't go to college or wherever. See, I'm already.
I have 2 degrees. I have 2 degrees.
No, you have 2 degrees. I only got 1. Sorry.
So I win.
So, anyways, so that part of the movie was fun. The failures were like there was chemistry with the female character and the Russian agent, but it wasn't. It was a weak female character. Like she wasn't like I'm not gonna say she was so weak that she was completely just like
she almost wasn't there, and that was my big complaint about the movie is because they made her almost non-existent for the movie until the ending, and then it's like, oh, she's important.
Yeah, well,
and
then
you're like,
at the end,
what?
But, like even then, she was just lying to people, and like she basically in the third, to be generic as we can, in the third reel, she throws the spoke into the, she becomes the.
Right.
She's the third man.
She's the third person in this 3-person team.
Yeah. And it's kind of it seems like it should be really cool, but it didn't work out at the end. But what we have by the end of the movie, we have a plausible origin story for what would be a really cool team. So that would be the man from U.N.C.L.E. or the team from U.N.C.L.E. or the team is called U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah, they even reference them as U.N.C.L.E.
They actually never explain what U.N.C.L.E. stands for because it is, and that might be a gimmick. I don't know if that's from the show. But once again, keep in mind, you're probably screaming at me and Benny because we don't know anything about the show. We've never watched the show. I've never read anything
in all
about
honesty, if you've seen the original 1960s show, let us know if it was even close because we didn't watch it.
Yeah, and I don't really think that's what they're. There's some IPs. See, and when I say
there's
IP,
some where they link it to the old stuff, like Mission Impossible immediately linked it to the original show.
Yeah.
They did. Avengers and all them, they're immediately linking it to the older comics. But this one, I think they don't care if you know about it, and that's I like about that. I looked it up before going in because I was like, is it a comic book? Like, it felt like it was something that they were building off of.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel like this was a unique creation.
Yeah.
But
the thing I'll say about it, even though I didn't like all of it, it was oozing with style. Like everything about it's a period piece, so it's in the 60s. Everything looked really good, authentic. The cars were like right there in the era. Buildings, everything was fun. And so I think they did a good job with that. You had the quick cuts and the multi-screen things. I love that they did this whole invasion of a base. They invaded the base.
Yeah.
And normally when you get ready for that, that's all going to be paced normally. And they did it as this crazy cool cut montage because it didn't matter. All that mattered is that they get inside the base and then what happened after that was what happened. So they did some things in the movie that I thought were pretty well done. As far as that goes, it's definitely better than the last movie I saw.
What was the last one you saw?
Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, well the bar's really low after that.
But it's good to gauge things in between that. So you liked it. I thought it was watchable. I would like to see more. Would you like to see a sequel?
Yeah, I definitely want to see a sequel. If you got some money to spare and you want to go check out a movie, this isn't a bad movie. It's something you could just go for the entertainment's sake. If you really try to dig into it, there's a few things that we both complained about, but overall, I think let's do star rating. We're developing this discussion show as we go.
I don't like stars. I don't like we could do a rating or a star thing right now, but we need to do.
Just give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Yeah, just it's good.
2 thumbs up.
It's good.
But isn't that like?
I got a twitch in this one here. Listen, how about this? In the comments below, give us some ideas for.
How do you want us to rank them? Do you want stars?
Yeah.
Do you want numbers? Do you want toes up or down?
I've done very creative ones before, which on my other show where I talk about stuff. But we'd like to hear. We're doing this for you guys.
Yeah.
To, where this is the Comicstorian TV ranking system. We've never really done a ranking system for anything that we do. We usually just say, do we like it? Do we don't? But in this one, we are going to give you our opinions if we don't like something.
Right.
And we'll be angry and ultra green.
Because we can do that with movies.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed this discussion show. I know it's a little bit shorter than normal, but The Man from U.N.C.L.E., there's not much to say. There isn't any history to go into to compare it to. Overall, we both enjoyed it. We felt that the characters had great interactions. But follow us on Twitter at Comicstorian and our Instagram at Comicstorian and now our Snapchat at Comicstorian. We're figuring it out. We put one up.
Yeah, and don't forget at Team Grand Slam.
At Team Grand Slam for some Jason. And we'll see you guys next week. I think it's going to be Jason and Dan trying to talk about Mission Impossible or American Ultra.
Yeah, we're going to talk about more spy stuff.
More spy stuff!
All right.
Thanks, guys.